could have done that. But Milta City, that's where the first fight is going to ensue, because DRS, I can see them close to another team, to another name. Meaning, in an instant, we might see an early fight going on. Straight up Clash. Champions Esports, I'm seeing them joining into the match finally for today. Okay, so they're definitely going to play their 5 matches, but Bigatron by Vitality, they're going to Rozok, they're going school, apartments, and the main buildings. And look at the Giorgio pool. Oh my god, the containers, the Western City, the Northern City, even the hospital is completely contested. But there we go, Mark coming in, taking down Narsima. An example with the car, he's just chilling, he's just moving out of this proximity, away from the area. But Narsima, someone needs to go and get that heal done upon on the player, because Kinotrope, there's 3 players down, and Finale, the last guy, the last hope for Kinotrope, is coming forward, is closing in slowly and steadily with the UMP 45 in hand. He is going to face a head-to-head against Samza, but Samza versus Finale and the rest of the teams of the DRS from the backside, they're definitely going to enter, and they're definitely not going to allow in fact, this guy from Kinotrope to take any kind of aggression. As Finale gets taken down, DRS secures the 4 eliminations without a single casualty.
Yeah, a nice few hot drops in the early stage of the game here, but of course, that wasn't the only position where we had the hot drops, right? You can see Voin Donkey also now feeling a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the pressure as Team Secret comes knocking on the door, coming through with a few demands here. But will they cave to the pressure? Voin Donkey quickly trying to reposition and see if they can maybe sneak their way up through the side angles here. But I think for Voin Donkey, this is going to be an important fight, right? They've come into the fight sitting all the way down in 21st position with 13 points to their name. So they could look to capitalize on a few additional plays. This could definitely put them ahead of where Team Secret is, which is just 1 slot above them with 21 points total. The pressure is going to be on. Voin Donkey already down to a 3-piece. So this is where we see Team Secret feeling a lot more confident and comfortable. They've been able to keep them at arm's length. Voin Donkey, Marquis now just trying to peek across the way, looking for a bit of an angle. Frankie, I like that off position.
We do have to see that. Like, at this point, the teams, Voin Donkey, first and foremost, they're kind of close to the Team Secret, and because of this, the fight can possibly ensue. But Primox is the area. They're already super far away from the circle that we can see. 1,400 meters, and not having a vehicle for yourself, Voin Donkey has kind of put themselves into a very stalemate location, because Team Secret came into the same city, the Primox, and from what my judgment is, they're definitely going to take all the cars, all the vehicles out of this area, because they know there's another team. They will also be, I'd say, puncturing the tires maybe of the cars, of the vehicles and everything. So we do have to see what's going to happen, how the teams are going to get out of this. Voin Donkey especially is going to get out of this. But aside from that, Voin Donkey, they've also lost 2 of their players. Team Secret, they're going to stay till the very end, maybe take down all the entirety of the Voin Donkey's ID. But Zeta, he has spotted down the players. But there we go. Frankie gets a spray, gets a headshot, and in an instant, Voin Donkey gets 1 knockdown for themselves. A good start on towards the Team Secret side, but they're also falling behind. They're also kind of lacking behind from this point onward, because that single guy, Frankie, he is all alone on the top of the mountain. So meaning with no support to get that revival done, there's only one hope for the Team Secret, and that is to push upon on this Zeta.
Well, let's see where this is going to go now. Team Secret still keeping their distance, but I like the fact that they've been able to really rotate around where Voin Donkey finds themselves situated. Oh, beautiful hit coming through here. As Voin trying to make the most. GK off in the distance, actually packing quite a bit of a punch, but also taking a very decent chunk of damage. Let's see whether or not Monkey can actually get the shot secured. Going to try and find a little bit of that follow through. And I think for Team Secret, this could maybe pose a little bit of a threat, right? Having one of their players on the far side and the rest of the crew cannot necessarily provide the necessary coverage. But let's see whether or not that is going to be a problem for them, as we've got Trang just keeping it nice and steady. A little bit of that overwatch, waiting for Voin to make their move.
So far, Voin Donkeys, they're not making a move, but here we go. GK finally stepping up, going close to Frankie, getting that revival done. And once again, it's a 2 versus 2, but Voin Donkeys, just look at the position into the minimap. They're so scattered away. Zeta at one corner of the Promokes, the other guy from the Voin Donkeys, he's completely on the other side of the corner as well, near the shorelines. So there is no hope to the fight to occur. Zeta, I think he will safe and securely get out of this area, because not only Team Secret has no idea on where the player is, they're just looking at the compounds. They're unaware of the situation that Zeta has already left the premises and maybe just come from the backside on the top of the mountain, because if he does, that's going to be a very bonkers move. He's definitely going to bonk some of the players from the backside, so be very careful. But Alpha 7 on our screen, ladies and gentlemen, Squash Boo and the rest of the teams. There's the D Xavier nearby, the Bigatron by Vitality, but there we go. The spray has been delivered. The player knows the location from this point onwards. Snape is kind of into a different location. Wait a second, there's only 2 players together of the Bigatron by Vitality. The rest 2 players are kind of scattered.
Yep, you don't want to play too much of a stretch here, but as we know, they can comfortably hold their own. I want to see whether or not the 2-2 split here is maybe going to form a bit of a position over on towards D Xavier, or will we have D Xavier get the jump in on towards them? The pressure is going to be on. A lot of that awareness now being played out here, as you can see, the top split of BTR now just trying to keep their distance, maybe trying to play a bit of a bait and switch, not quite sure what the angle is. But both teams now just trying to lure each other into a bit of a trap. You got to watch out for those vehicles. 2504. Instead, the shots now connecting up. The hits are there. And this is now the retaliation, as it is going to be Bigatron by Vitality getting ready for the push. They've got that knock secured, but now will they get the flush? So they come rushing straight on forward. Oh, right there on their heels.
Oh god, Bigatron, they're pushing in, and this is exactly what I'm all about. I wanted this team to go completely on the aggressive side, and that's what they're doing. They're going for the fight, but also look at all the rest of the teams on how closely compacted that they are into this particular vicinity. There is Telcom Digi Alliance that may take the fight, and as they are receiving the damage, they are getting the knockouts. There's Yangon Galacticos into the backline. D Xavier is there as well. Bigatron by Vitality, they're also into the close proximity as well. ASI-8 coming from the northern side, they can actually pursue the team Bigatron by Vitality as well as a third party, or maybe as a fourth party if they hold out till another team comes into the play to take that fight, to take that aggression. But Yangon Galacticos, I see 2 split cell. 2 players of the Yangons going to the 4 thrives, 2 of the players staying into the backside near the side of the D Xaviers. Maybe they're going to try to take D Xaviers players from a long distance angle. ASI-8 versus D Xavier as well. There are the shots going around. There's damage here and there, just a slight bit of damage, not a lot, but yes, enough to make sure that you turn up your booster. But ASI-8, calm is no longer calm. He is in panic.
Yeah, panic mode engaged indeed. This is a very tough spot to be in, but I like this play coming through from D Xavier off the distance, right? Mafioso trying to get that confirmation locked on in, but it is going to be D Xavier also just absolutely relentless. We do see a few of those knocks now finding its way over in their direction. Are they going to be able to survive? So far, they've actually made it through quite a bit of the hurdles thrown at them, but now ASI-8 pushing on forward. D Xavier with a quick response. You can see the shots now right then and there, and it is over for them, as D Xavier is going to be the team in 14th position, going out with 2 eliminations. But Alpha 7 not going to pass a golden opportunity, as they too spring into action, come rushing forward right onto ASI-8. It's going to be Crypto holding steady over onto the far side. The knocks are in. Will we see Revo send that nade all the way through, bag that elimination? Not quite just yet, but the follow-up is there, and that is it. ASI-8, the next squad out of here.
Another team out of here, out of this particular vicinity, and with this, 3 eliminations for the A7 Alpha 7, ladies and gentlemen. There is the team next versus Arena going around, and Apex. So look at that. That's a grenade elimination. On is also been eliminated. There is Bunny. Oh my god. There's Nexori. There's 2 players of the Nexori getting instantly being obliterated right here, right now in the squad house. That's the 3rd one going down. Okay, no, that's the player got finished off completely. But aside from that, Demo OG, he's one of the guy that is low on that HP, trying to survive, trying to make it out of the situation alive. But Apex, he's also throwing all the utilities that he can actually dump up on the players. Demo OG going for the revive. Apex getting all those eliminations, 2 out of which one of their own player got decimated out the area. Selcom Digi Alliance 966 so far, close to the Bigotron by Vitality. The fight can ensue 3 ways. It can be a 3-way deadlock. So if anyone is going to go for the fight, go for the engagement, the 3rd one is definitely going to come into the play and take the 3rd party as well. But 966, not a single move, not a single movement. For some reason, he's just chilling in the stairs, waiting for someone to just open the door, just peek out of the door, and he's going to use that as 12K right on your face. But Cellcom Digi Alliance says the rest of the players, there's only 2 alive. 6042. He's AFK. Oh my god, he is AFK. And with this, it changes everything. Cellcom Digi Alliance, you're just on a solo player that's trying to survive and trying to make sure that your player can come back unscathed.
Well, I mean, based on what we can see, they're not actually AFK. They are just keeping absolutely still. So that is a very interesting strategy to be using right here. We did have 4 squads right in this compound. We've now gone down to 3, but we also still see Champions Esports just holding a little bit more towards the edge here. So a lot is now riding on this play, but here we go. It's going to be Revo finding that play right in towards the side of BTR. Shots connecting on through. The send is going to be there. Carrillo now trying to move up, get that confirmation secured, and add a few additional points to their overall tally. So far coming through with 3 eliminations. Going to be looking for number 4. Now, the rest of the Alpha 7 crew come rushing on forward. This is where things really start to take quite a bit of a turn, as Bigotron by Vitality are not going to be the team to get their hands on that winner chicken dinner for game number 1. We still have 10 squads remaining, and this is where the pressure now starts to mount. Who will be the team looking to make a run for that winner chicken dinner? We are still quite a long way away from it, but the pressure that these teams are applying to this match is absolutely crazy. Nexori, though, and a golden opportunity here, right? They find themselves with a bit of a relief now being presented, but it's going to be Cellcom Digi that are still holding steady. They have not moved. Their 2 players are right here, as you can see. 642 or 6042 and 966, both still in exactly the same compound we saw them last time.
Oh yeah, but there goes my prediction. Bigotron by Vitality, no longer alive into the game and no longer available into the game. But T24, this guy is a menace right now. One Donkey's Machi gets finished off right there, but 4 thrives. Falek, he's just chilling in his buggy out in the open. He's getting in the circle and everything, trying to find out the players. But be very careful. You're going into a territory unknown to you without any cover from your team members that they can provide you. There is no hope to save you if you get knocked out. But on the other side, One Donkeys, that also gets eliminated. That's the last guy that was alive. And One Donkeys with that also is out of the match as well. But T24 so far, trying to spray, no connection. Noki near the cliffside, and Falek still in his buggy, handy dandy buggy, going around the area. Secret coming from the backside, and Falek can actually get into the fight. Even as Falek is moving from a different angle to back to his teammates, there's Yangon Galacticos as a player that can actually ensue this fight with these guys, especially with Falek. And if Falek is even spotted out into the area, it's going to be a destructive scenario for the player. But I saw someone, I think, jumping out of the car and instantly getting knocked down into the kill feed for some reason. But I don't know who that is. I don't know who that person is. So we'll have to see if that is going to be true or not. But T24OP receiving the damage first and foremost. The circle going all the way to all of these different teams.
Yeah, it's an interesting spread, but I do note that, or notice rather that Alter Ego, they're just riding on the edge of zone. They are waiting for the teams currently situated within the zone to kind of resolve the pressure so they can come rolling up as soon as that is done. Both thrives though looking pretty decent on their position, just on the edge. Team Spirit, Frankie, got to watch it. Could get picked up quite easily there by T24. Now Falak holding just on the edge as well, trying to gather a little bit of information, trying to move up to see if they can get the jump. Team Spirit, though, they're not going to stick around. They will get themselves mobilized and moved out of reach here. But where are the rest of the teams going to look to push? We do have DRS all the way on that far southern side. It's going to be Nexery still holding nice and steady. Of course, Telkom Diggy, they are starting to warm up a little bit, right? I think they just need a little bit of time in the sun to get that blood circulating, and now they're prepping themselves for a bit of a play. Champions also just there, down on that southern side, waiting nice and steadily in their compound. Not really seeing much of them just yet. It seems like they've got 2 players left, and they've not been able to find themselves any points so far.
They haven't got any points. Yeah, that's one thing concerning so far, because it's been already 18 minutes and there's Yangon Galacticos, Alter Ego, and C1 Champions. These are the names that have yet to take any kind of action, any kind of fight against anybody. So with not having any kind of experience firsthand into the lobby with the fights and everything, it's definitely going to be a difficult situation when they will get into the fight. Maybe at the later stages, it's going to be more difficult from that point onward as well, because everybody's going to be so super used to be taking the fights with using the sprays and everything, that you're going to be at the disadvantage from that point onward. But I see DRS close to the proximity of Champions Esports, and they're closing in from the backside. They're lurking in, slowly and steadily creeping in with the 2 players, 2 to split cell. The situation can definitely go either way. But Nexori, and at the same time, Telkom Diggy Alliance, they are close. They are super close, but not close enough to take the fight. Telkom is not moving whatsoever. They know they're in the circle, and that's exactly what they wanted. They do not want to move anywhere from that point onward. Nexori getting Champions Esports' player down. It's a knockdown. Still not a confirmation. The player can easily get that revival done. And I think Champion is that team joining with a trio or a duo. Okay, that's a full squad. Never mind. That's a full squad that joined, and all the 4 players, out of which even the knockout player got the revival done. But Team Secret versus Yangon Galacticos. The fight is finally happening, and Yangon is on the receiving end.
Well, love to see it. In the meanwhile, it's going to be DRS still trying to decide where they want to go with their rotations. It is going to be 4 Thrives now moving in right here alongside Samsa. As they start to climb up on the hill. Interesting position, trying to scout out the angles here. Yangon Galacticos now going to look to apply the pressures. They come rushing on forward, pushing in on towards Team Secret. 2 players left now to defend. Let's see whether or not Xeris can hold it steady. Beautiful hits coming through here with the S12K. It is going to be Galacticos feeling all the heat as Team Secret make it no secret that they are out for blood. They want those eliminations already. They've been able to find 5. It is going to be Galacticos now sitting with an empty bucket. No points to their name just yet. Ooh, but here we go. Utilities starting to fly all over the place. The pressure is mounting over on towards the end. Moving forward, finds the spray. Now it's 1 player remaining. Here we go. This is going to be the final showdown for Team Secret and Yangon Galacticos.
Oh my god, Yangon Galacticos down to the very last guy, but they have been eliminated right there with 40s. Molotov. Nobody is into the bottom line proximity, bottom floor proximity. You have to throw the grenades, you have to throw the utilities on the first floor if you want to take down the Team Secrets' flare, but all the utilities being dumped here. They're not making the connections that they should have at this point. But aside from that, Telkom Digi Alliance, they also have been eliminated. We're down to the top 7, ladies and gentlemen. 24 players remaining, and it's been 21 minutes going around the proximity. So only 5, maybe 6 more minutes, a maximum to go before everyone is done and dusted. Everything is done and dusted. We see the winner chicken dinner of our team. DRS versus the Alter Egos. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. DRS. We saw them take the fight against the champions first. Now they're close to proximity of Alter Egos, taking one down of Alter Ego. Now facing again, using the sprays, getting the damage, but no, Rosemary is gonna retaliate on Zamda and gonna get him down.
And now it's going to be Team Secret feeling that pressure, as well as it's going to be 4 Thrives moving in and wiping them out. Off they go. 6 eliminations to their name, though. 4 Thrive also looking quite comfortable with those 6 eliminations to their name. Alpha 7 now going to be looking to dip into the zone here. It's going to be Alter Ego slowly applying themselves as they move forward, rather. Zamza getting taken on down. DRS starting to have their numbers dwindle here, down to a 3-piece. Will they be able to survive? Alter Ego continuing with their push as they move through on the western front. Things are looking clear, at least for the time being, but very limited options and not so many positions for them to occupy. Alpha 7 also looking for a spot to call home. They just barely squeeze in on the edge of zone. Champions Esports, they came in with a 3-piece, and here they go. Kino going to see if they can reach in with the utilities. DRS going to be feeling that pressure, feeling the heat as the utilities keep on pumping all over the place. Nectary also looking to advance, choking for a bit of an opportunity, but it is an absolute bloodfest out here.
Oh my god. Champions Esports now gonna move forward, is gonna stay into the back, in fact, and is going to utilize their M416s, red dots 3 times, all the everything that they have to take that aggression. But 4 Thrives into the meanwhile versus Alter Ego. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Pubg taking Rosemary down. It's a knock. It's a confirmation. Alter Ego is down to the last 2 players that they are. Champions Atomic alongside of E4ST. Both of these guys are moving forward, but T24 cooking that grenade against Alpha 7. The grenade trajectory goes into the close vicinity. Rev O kind of low, but instantly he has been taken down right there. And then right here, Naki is going to take this charge and move forward, close into the area alongside of his teammate. Not too close to the enemies, that he may be the one to get taken down. So he's staying there. He's staying into the back, but now moving forward, Pubg is also really into the back line. But oh my god, that's a 1 RM. That's a second one almost. Oh my god, but S12K, it did work out. Squash Brew did came in with the clutch, taking down Naki. Pension confirmation. T24 OP gets taken down as well. The third guy from the 4 Thrives is closing in, but the circle is going to take the player out before that. And right with this, Alpha 7 is going to be out of the match as well. But 4 Thrives, 10 eliminations. 2 of these guys' names into the top 5.
I mean, 4 Thrives going all ham on the lobby right here as they just push on forward. Now they get eliminated as well as Alter Ego stops the run right there for them. Now DRS trying to see what they can make do over on towards the southern side. Example, going for a quick little cheeky hide up in the vehicle is going to be Champion Esports right here alongside them, still holding steady with the 3-piece. Alter Ego now starting to advance as they push up on towards JD. See if JD can survive it. The jump is there and down they go. Alter Ego adding another one to the tally. Nexary, Troll trying to find their way up in towards the zone as we can see them just riding the ridge over on towards that eastern side. But now Champions coming through with the utilities, finding the placement, finding the angles. And it could still go very well here for them. But unfortunately, Atomics will get popped on off as Apex reaches in a very scrunched up position here, coming through from the side of Champions. The utilities rely on in. That is a beautiful nade into the face of Apex.
Apex getting a really obliterator right there, but there we go. Bunny, the final guy. He's also getting shots, but come on, ERK. No, but still, even with that slight bit of HP, with a heavy, undermined HP, he still managed to get that knockdown done on Champion. In fact, Nexori players. Bunny finally being finished off by the hand of Keno. Alter Egos into the vicinity as well, and I can really feel that your prediction might really come true. Alter Ego might really take that one over the chicken dinner right here. But Keno, he's slowly approaching the situation. Alter Ego coming into the way. 4ST, ERK 4ST has finally been eliminated. Kino is here getting finished off, and oh no, Nexori, the final guy, is going to be alive as the final contenders. But it is Alter Egos, ladies and gentlemen, with the winner chicken dinner. DK's prediction coming true right here in the match number 1.
I mean, if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. Alter Ego. Yeah, I didn't know, I guess. But hey, well done to them. Beautiful winner chicken dinner coming their way. We've seen a lot of hard work, especially coming through there from the side of Alva. So love to see it. And I think a very well-deserved victory indeed. But I mean, Champions Esports though, right? We haven't seen them in the first 2 days. And then on the last day of playoffs, they arrive. And they do so with a beautiful fashion, going absolutely crazy, not backing off with the aggression and bringing everything onto the battlefield. So I think a very good performance on their end as well. But as we can see, of course, it is going to be 4 Thrives to take that MVP position. IQQ locking it in, 5 eliminations and almost 800 damage getting dealt in this last match. Absolutely phenomenal play. But yep, there we have it. First game for the last day of playoffs, done and dusted.
1 game done, 4 more to go. And for the first game, it is IQ with the MVP, 773 damage. But going into the match ranking, it is Alter Egos, ladies and gentlemen, 6th elimination, the winner chicken dinner. Those 10 juicy points, making it up, racking it up. To up all the way 16 total points. Then we have 4 Thrives, 10 elimination, 3 placement, total 13 points. 11 for Nexori with 5 elimination and 6 placement. 4 eliminations for Champions with a total of 9 points. DRS also having 9 points for themselves, but 5 eliminations to their name. 8 total points, in fact, for the Alpha 7 total points for the Secret with 6 eliminations, ASI 8 with just the 4 eliminations, Pubg Alliance 3, E Arena with the 3, and D Xavier with 3 as well. But Yangon, what has happened to these guys? Day number 2, yesterday, the performance was too good for these guys, but the very first match of the day number 3, the final day, their 6th match, they're lacking really behind with 0 points. One Donkey, 0 points. Bigatron by Vitality also with 0 points, and Kinotrope with 0 as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe both those teams are just giving the rest of the lobby a bit of false hope, right? Telling them, you know what? If you believe you can, maybe you could, but we don't know if we're going to allow that. We'll find out as we get into the later few matches here. But of course, Alter Ego jumping up 4 slots all the way up into 6th place. Now, rubbing shoulders here with Yangon Galacticos as well as Bigatron by Vitality. Gotta love these plays. Gotta love the movement. Also, DRS having a good play overall, securing themselves a few additional points as we saw those 9 points going a long way, bringing them now up into 9th.
But 7-9, boom. These are the still names, even on the second page, that will not be playing their matches. So they're only going to go down from this point onward as well. D Xavier, he is not going to move any positions up or down as well. 39 points in total. Nexori, 35. 6 placements. That's an increment of 6 placements right there from 19 to all the way up 13. On to the second chart they go with 35 points. Alpha 7 also on the 14th with 35 points. So come to G Alliance. They're going to lose some of their placements. 33 points. AOSI 8. 33 points as well. Kinotrope, 30 points. And Secret with 28 points. I kind of want to see where 4 Thrives is right now, because this match, they had the 10 eliminations, meaning that somewhere into the 10, they're definitely going to be on the 3rd chart, and no doubt on that. But how many points? Somewhere at the start of 20th, or they're still behind the 20 points marker? That was one thing that we'll know as we move into the page number 3. DRX 26, 25 for Nomshings, and 4 Thrives. There we go. With this match, done and dusted, 10 eliminations, so individually, like all the players, just with the aggression. Elimination-wise, 24 total points. 14 for E-Arena, 1 Donkey, 13. 10 for D Plus Kia, 9 for Champions Esports. They came in very late. I'm going to say they came in very late, but they definitely are progressing gradually.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, you can't really fault the performance that they brought into that first match. So, yeah, well done. 9 points on board for them. But of course, the winner chicken dinner going straight over to Alter Ego. So I guess, Dorix, when it comes to this, right, we got to be careful when we play the prediction game because apparently, I know what I'm saying. I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, I'm not always. That was just the luck of the draw. But yeah, I think a good start to the first match here. The team's really showing that they are here. They mean business. They want to try and play for that top 9 right there. I want to make it through the last chance, and I think that's a very respectable approach to take.
I mean, yes, it is a very respectable approach to take. Even with the 5 matches, I'd say they have somewhat of a chance if they play like exactly like this that they have played. The top 3, the top 2, I think they have a slight bit of chance to securing the top 9 at the very least for themselves going straight up into the grand finals. And just how amazing would it be that they accomplish that? But right now, we will be going for a short break, ladies and gentlemen. You guys do not go anywhere. Stay with us as we will move into the match number 2, the Mirror Mod, after this one.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're getting ready to move into our second match right here on day number 3 for the playoffs, right? Because we've been seeing these teams absolutely grinding their butts off in the Asia Showdown. And what a showdown it has been so far. I mean, good start to the match. I got an accurate prediction in the first match. I'll brag about that a little bit. Not that it matters at all. I think what's going to matter more is what these teams are going to be looking to do coming into the second game. Of course, it is going to be our first Murmur for the day. Yes. So I want to see them really dust off those skills, right? Make sure that there's no sand anywhere and they can focus on just being absolute beasts out on the battlefield.
I mean, it is the match number 2. It is the start of the Miramar matches, meaning either, once again, the teams will kind of go slow or not. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go straight up into the match number 2. The plane line going from the La Cubrilla all the way down at the south of Los Leones. A kind of centered plane line where El Pozo, Picado, the Los Leones, the major hard drop locations are available for the teams. Even Chumacera is there. Belo del Mar is accessible. Monte Nuevo can be accessed as well. But we all know DRS, they will definitely go to the Hacienda del Patron to get that Golden Mirado. And what about the rest of the teams? Are we going to see anyone contest DRS? Are we going to see anyone contest Los Leones area with 2-3 different teams going straight up into the fight? But El Pozo is one of the places where there is, I think, 2 teams dropping down into the same proximity, but I can't be wrong. But so far, the circle, oh my god, this is absolutely insane. Circle's gonna go hard west. Almost 30%, 20% of the area is not even accessible because it's out of the range, out of the boundaries. You cannot climb that big mountain at the very corner, so you have to make sure to use whatever you can into the surrounding areas. But El Pozo, the city is accessible. Monte Nuevo, where the 4 tribes have resided, that's accessible for the teams. The Yangon Galacticos has gone near the Chumacera area. So maybe they also try to want to find the cars, maybe go to the Valle del Mar into the area, but 4 thrives. Here we go. Nexori is in the close vicinity, but Winchester 97 into the hands of the 4 thrives player. Not a single moment. He is not making any sound so far, but Peter 4 also gets the Winchester. No, come on. Is this a Winchester fest now?
It seems to be that way, right? It's the .45s all across the board. At least they changed it out, right? We can see an M4 now coming into play, so no longer do we have that Winchester being held. But now 4 thrives getting themselves ready for a little bit of an engagement. It's going to be Nexary right there alongside them. Some unwanted neighbors coming through. Noki waiting patiently to see if luck is on their side. Maybe they can get the hit. Maybe they can get the spray. Oh, the peak is there, but down goes Noki. So a very lucky shot coming through from Nexary.
That's a Winchester headshot. Oh my god, how I've longed to see that come into the play by these players in this kind of lobby. Amazingly done, amazingly done. But now, Naki, he needs to get that revive. But Demo OG is closing in into the vicinity of the players. But there goes sticky grenade. But Apex, no connection. Okay, 4 seconds more. 3, 2, 1. That's going to blast it off, but no connection. The player is not going to go with any of that grenades things. Apex is finally going to go grab that elimination of 4 thrives as this player. But 4 thrives, are you gonna let that opportunity go by? Are you gonna let Noki go to waste, or you're gonna try to get some eliminations? But nope, Apex is finally gonna get Noki out. Demo OG in the front lines, very low on the HP side. He doesn't have any kind of healings for himself, but with Thompson in hand, he still can make wonders. We have seen the players, even with the low HP, make wonderful moments, wonderful gameplays, and this is one of the times where it's really needed from this point onward.
Well, let's see if they can bag a few of these plays as they now start to move on forward. It's going to be 4 thrives trying to lock it down. Nexary being an absolute menace. We see Oliver also now getting hit there in the feed. So the action is happening all across the map. Four Thrives now trying to still hold on to the compound. Not going to be an easy one to defend, as Nextry will try everything available to them. E-Arena is going to be receiving a knock on their end as well. The shots, the pressure, the plays coming all the way through. But let's check it. Where are these teams going to look to take themselves? Are they going to be able to push it into every position available to them? But here we have it now. Steady wait. Good angle. Oh, come on, Picado. Bring it in.
Come on, Alter Ego. There we go. Krypton closing in. The players getting out, but in an instant, both of the parties flashing against each other. Now, Alva, he manages to get the knockdown. E-Arena, he has been taken away as well, but Alva, he's super low in that HP, but at the same time, E-Arena has been completely wiped out of the vicinity. They are the first one to get obliterated out of the 59 players that joined the lobby. We are remaining with the 55. Now, this is kind of difficult for majority of the teams as still, even now, Four Thrives or Nexori, they're still together, but Alpha 7 versus D Xaviers, these two names are also going head-to-head in a tussle, in a fight. This is the match number 2 of the Miramar, and Nexori, Four Thrives, let's see, Four Thrives, you can do it, you can get those shots connected, but just barely missing by an inch. Once again, peeking, firing, Demoji, just chilling out there, watching the players of the Four Thrives waste their ammo in every direction that they can possibly can. But Four Thrives, you're already 3-man standing. They're already undermined, underplayed, and that's because of Nexori's. Naki got knocked out, he got finished off, and Nexori has not even received a single casualty, not even a single knockout to their name. So it's both sides, a 4 versus 3 scenario.
So let's see if Four Thrives can thrive in this current position. There's going to be a slow but steady push coming through here from Nexori, just trying to outlast Four Thrives. So far, things are looking quite advantageous here for the side of Nexori as they start to slowly move on forward. Not quite sure how they're going to look to push through, as the building seems to be somewhat secured, at least for the time being. But that could change very, very soon. Demo also trying to get themselves right there up on the edge, waiting for a bit of an opportunity, keeping their eyes open. What's also going to happen is Mafioso will be taking an insane amount of damage as D Xavier Leviso now holding it nice and steady, coming through with a follow-up. And there we have it. The first knock is in. Alpha 7 losing yet another player down to a 2-piece, and it is not looking good for them.
This definitely is not looking good for them, but you know what else is there? There is the D Xavier still with the fighting spirit, ready to take that action. Once again, moving back towards the side of the Four Thrives. They're still not making any moves. Both parties are just chilling, facing right off each other, just staring each other into the eye at this point. What I am seeing right now is the fact that we might still see the stalemate for the next 1 or 2 circles, stage number 3, till the very end of the stage number 3. But after that, that's where the aggression is going to start to appear. So far, it is just the stalemate. Anyone who makes a move, anyone who tries to leave the premises is going to be absolutely decimated from that point onward, because they have their ammunitions ready, they have their locations ready. So whosoever is going to make the first move is actually going to be into the disadvantageous position. D Xavier on our screen, close to the Alpha 7's proximity, but Levioso, he's the guy going with the Wingardium Leviosa, just going away from the rest of his team. And D Xavier's the 2 players, 2504 and Xavier, we have to see, are we seeing what it is going to happen?
Well, we'll find out pretty soon. As you can see, Carrillo holding a nice steady position. Not going to be doing all too much just yet, but at some point, something's got to change. Speaking about change, though, let's see whether or not Nexori and Four Thrives are going to look to take this fight to the next level. We do have a few utilities now getting sent across the way, but making no connection whatsoever. Oh, we got to watch out. Ginotrope also going to be moving up on the hill. You can see Mark just patiently waiting in the wing. absolutely drawn in by the noise getting caused by the fight between Nextory and Full Thrive. We see another squad also holding over towards that southeastern side. The zone getting ready to close on up. As we take a look towards that second phase now, the zone again just centering up. Everybody essentially within the zone, aside from a few. It's going to be ASI 8 that now starts to move on up. But of course, it's going to be Team Secret rocking up on that eastern front as well. But Champion Esport going for a very wide southern rotation. And I think this could be quite the big brain play coming through from them.
This can be a big brain move, but still, what I can see so far, I don't see anyone close to the fights, and this is exactly what the Miramar is. This is exactly what Miramar is about. The fights not happening into the first 2-3 stages, and then instantly after the 4 stages commenced, there's a lot of fights going on. But Team Secret, we just witnessed them into the kill feed, getting a knockdown, getting a confirmation. That's the first one that they're going to have. The second one on Casanova from the ASI 8. Team Secret is also going to secure that elimination. But ASI 8 now just alive at 2 more players. We will have to see how they're gonna actually hold this off. Calm, Iron, these 2 are the guys that are alive. But on the other side, 4 Thrives is also receiving the damage. Alpha 7 is receiving all those shots as well. So all the previous fights that we just got out of, that we just witnessed going into the stalemate, they have finally engaged once again, and in an instant, every single one of them got a knockdown one way or another.
It's good to see those fights making some progression here. And of course, speaking about progression, here we go. As Alpha 7 tries to hold up alongside D Xavier, but that Molly doing what it does best, lighting the whole party up. Here comes the push though. Squash Bro just waiting patiently to try and get that corner angle play. Beautiful jump shot with a DBS. And there's a reason why I call the DBS the don't be silly. Now, Leviso waiting on the corner. Hoping for a bit of an angle. Beautiful nade now, trying to just add even more pressure to the position. But Squash Brew is not going to be fooled by that. Instead, quickly repositions, tries to wrap around. D Xavier, though, going in for the res. They could bring themselves back up to a full 2-piece. Unless, of course, these shots connect, and they do exactly that. Squash Brew with a jump shot out of, I don't know, some supreme position, locking in the sprays. Team Secret also coming in with a quick little bit of a cleanup here as they do stay in ASI 8 backing.
Oh my god, this was amazing, amazing. But now, moving into the DRS's position, there's the 4 Thrives into the proximity. Now we do have to see how 4 Thrives is going to actually take the fight against the DRS as they move forward. The 1897 could have been detrimental upon other players, but in an instant, Pollock manages to get 1 knockdown. The second one super low in that HP. He's going to move forward. He's going to get that elimination. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 Thrives taking down the players of the DRS. DRS out of the game. But still, Nextory is still into the proximity. Still alive into the area. Falak healing himself, getting that reload on the gun. But on the other side, you can see the 4 Thrives player. The guy with that name that I cannot read. And the one who shall not be named. Taking down OG, Demo OG. Finishing him up. And with this, Nextory is down to the 2 players that they are. Pollock is going to throw their grenade. Nobody's going to get hit by that. 3 more grenades onto the way. We do have to see what these 3 grenades can possibly do. Another one going around. There we go. Nextory's a player. Another one getting taken down. It's a knockdown. Now, Falak, you have to go forward. You have to get that final nail in the coffin upon on the players. But in an instant, oh my god, this guy is coming in with the clutch, taking down not 1, but 2 of the players. Third one as well. It's a 1v3 going on by the Nextory's. The Apex. Apex coming as the Apex Predator right there, taking up all the players of the 4 Thrive.
Absolutely phenomenal showing coming through here from Nextory, just locking in 5 total eliminations. Things are now going to be a little bit more complicated for Apex as they are now the solo left to defend the honor of their squad. But hey, as you said, Apex Predator could go a very long way, so we'll find out soon. In the meanwhile, it is going to be Champions now up on the ridge, trying to scope across the way, as we do have the Galacticos holding just down below them. The pressure is on. The utility is getting sent across the way. Is this going to be enough, though, to grant that opportunity for Champions Esports? to secure themselves even more points. They are looking to bring in the reinforcements. The numbers are looking to count in their favor, but you got to watch out. Once you run out that door, there's no backing up just yet. In the meanwhile, Galacticos also looking to fortify their positioning here as they come through with a bit of a 3-1 split. This could actually be a very interesting position for them.
This definitely can be an interesting position, but Champions Esports so far getting on top of the compounds, on the rooftops, but Circle taking the shift to the Monte Nuevo. Now this is insane. Apex is the only guy in somewhat the city of the Circle. Then we have the players of the Warring Donkeys alongside of the proximity. There's also the Bigatron by Vitality inside the Circle. But the teams that are not inside the Circle is Alter Ego, Southbound Biggie Alliance, Secret, Yangon, and Champions Esports. These are the names outside of the Circle, outside of the proximity of the Circle, and they're going to be in a very difficult position as they're going to try to move out inside the Circle. So be very careful of the surroundings, because from any point in time, from anywhere, there can be some teams closing on, taking the fights, or engaging with one another. But Secret, so far on our screen, Zerus, Team Secret's Zerus, with his car, with his buggy, he's just chilling out into the open, trying to make sure that he finds a decent place for the team as a scout to reside for a tad but long bit of time.
One team that I'm curious to see what they're going to be bringing on through here is going to be Voin Donkey, right? They were quite silent in the first match. So far in this game, we've also not seen all too much come through from them. They have joined this match with 13 points total, but Champions actually managing to get a leap ahead of them. Oh, there is a bit of an opportunity now as Team Secret continue to make their push coming through on towards the edge of zone. Ladriera is going to be empty. It's going to be vacant. But there we have it. Alter Ego now getting met with quite a bit of aggression as the shots connect on through all the way here from South Diggy. Let's see whether or not Alliance can lock in the final few pushes. The angle is there, and down they go. Alter Ego over, coming in clutch, rescuing Rosemary from a quick trip back into the lobby. Bigatron by Vitality also now just rotating up alongside this northern side. Fortunately, the noise not really attracting too much attention, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Alter Ego down to a two-piece. It's going to be a little bit of a risky play. Bigatron now getting ready for a bit of a push. Will they be able to secure a quick finish here and end the run? Alter Ego, though, on 7 eliminations, currently leading the board.
So far, we're into the top 8. Top 8 it is. 22 players remaining. Nexori, Alpha 7. There's a lot of names that I'm seeing with duo or just a solo squad, but oh no, Alva, you are on fire, literally on fire, but barely surviving with that silver line of HP. But Rosemary, 911. Someone needs to call 911 for those guys from this point onward, because the rest of the teams of the BTR, they are pushing on Alter Egos. This situation can actually overturn, really hinder the performance of the players. But Kent, so far, BTR, let's see. Going forward, going back in the circle. They're waiting for the other team, in fact, Alter Ego, to get out of the area, out of the compound, to make their way in the circle. That's where they're going to pick them up. 2 players went back, 2 players still staying there, and okay, they're going in a different direction. They're taking all the possible direction that Alter Ego can actually exit from into the consideration, and that's exactly what they did. Rosemary got taken down, and Rosemary instantly finished up as well. There we go. BTR, that's the 3rd elimination that they're going to have. And now with just 1 more remaining to get the full team wipeout, they might not just take it. They might just leave it as it is and just get in the circle, because 216 meters outside of the circle, staying outside of the circle with this small of a radius, it's going to be definitely hitting hard on you.
Yeah, and you don't want that to come your way just yet. BTR, though, going to try and push on forward, but Team Secret, part of the welcoming committee, as they take their approach, moving on forward. We can see a little bit of that damage now connecting up onto the side here of BTR. Will they be able to fly up the side of the mountain? Are they going to go full send? Not quite just yet. Does get a good high position. Oh, but they spot out Tony there. Quick, a little bit of a duck into the vehicle. Because Xeris now coming up with the defenses, finding that front line play. Does find a beautiful knock. Snape and the rest of the team here from BTR trying to see if they can find that entry point, but it is going to be a pretty tough one. Quite a bit of contention now starting to build on towards the edge here of La Driera. But here we go. It's going to be quite a bit of a frantic back and forth. BTR, they know they are so close to securing a few more additional points to just strengthen their overall positioning within that top 9. Is it going to come at the expense of Team Secret? We don't quite know just yet, but we will say goodbye to Snape as the quick knock and full confirmation does find its way right onto their doorstep. Now, it is going to be Alva all the way from Alter Ego, also coming in with a quick bit of a cheeky trade onto the side here of Team Secret, but now it is going to be the exchange. Xeris will get dropped on down as well. Team Secret starting to crumble slowly but surely as BTR just eats away at their HP, but Kent getting dropped. Now down to a 2-piece as BTR tries to survive. Team Secret trying to flank their way on through, starting to push on forward. It is going to be GK just on the edge, and with that they will succeed in taking down a Bigatron. Not quite sure whether or not Xeris is going to survive this blue zone damage as Frankie comes in for the pickup. Rescue vehicle is there. Off they go. Please evacuate the zone. Kino is going to be down for Champions Esports as well.
This is amazing. I just love the fact he just yoink the player into the car and be like, okay, bye-bye. You go there. I'll be with you in a short while. But Champions Esports versus Wine Donkeys. It is on the north western corner. You can see Keno being knocked out. It will be a confirmation on the guy. But the rest of the team Champion Esports, they are completely in the circle. At the south side of the circle. Alva is kind of close to the vicinity. But it's only these 6-7 total teams. Secret is there. There is the team Nexori. There is the Alpha 7 as well into the proximity. So all of these, all in all, the situation is kind of looking into the favor so far for the champions, as they're the only one in the circle. But there's a lot of entry points. You cannot consider, like, you cannot say into the fact that, okay, nobody's going to be able to enter the circle. No, everybody is going to be able to enter the circle at this point, at the very least. But the next one, I can't say that for sure, or I can't even say that we're going to be able to go into the next phase, as these are the top 7 teams within the 21 minutes marker. Within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we might even see the top 3 or even the top 2.
We'll find out pretty soon exactly what that will be. Now it's going to be Power trying to find a bit of a spray across the way. Alter Ego lose their solo, and out they go. 8 eliminations up. Team Secret now also just converging in towards the zone. Alpha 7 down to a solo as well, up on towards that northern side. Got to be very, very cautious as to how they approach. But now Power looking to see any movement down below. They do spot out a little bit of an angle here onto Team Secret, but fortunately the hillside is going to be quite favorable for them for the time being. Frankie coming up with a beautiful surprise attack. Does connect on through towards Power. No follow-up just yet. Up comes the rest of the squad now as Team Secret starts to apply themselves, moving further and further up. Oh, but again, a big old ridge game getting played right now. The blue is going to start to constrict onto these teams that will force their hand. But it does seem like we have pretty much everybody so far just out of reach of the blue.
Oh my god, it's just the small things. Everybody is in the circle at the very corner. Every single corner is right now being contested from this point onward. Everybody's there. Alpha 7 gets eliminated right there, but 9 elimination to the Team Secret is a great start whatsoever as well. There goes the spray. Secret Frankie is going to take down a Mark, and right with this Mark's elimination, we're down to the top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Top 4 it is. Wine Donkeys 4-man, Champions 3-man, Team Nexori solo, and Secret with also a trio as well.
Well, we said we wanted to see Voin Donkey do a little bit more, and they've already secured themselves that first elimination, still holding nice and steady with the full squad. But are they going to be able to bank on that? Will they be able to use their numbers to their advantage and secure themselves that winner chicken dinner. It's going to be Zeros now taking a little bit of damage. Team Secret already hitting the double-digit elims, well ahead of the other squads still surviving in this match. Of course, Nextry, as you said, coming through with their solo. We can see Apex now just on the edge of the blue. But in the meanwhile, it does seem like Team Secret are going to be focusing all their efforts over onto the side here of Void Donkey. Champions Esports still going to be holding on to the high ground. Not going to get spotted out just yet. But as you can see, Team Secret is well aware of their overall location. So they will make sure that they've got at least a secure position so they don't get third-partied or maybe poked on the offside. Team Secret now frantically on the ridge looking for Void Donkey. They can hear a little bit of action up ahead, but not with any clear certainty just yet. Frankie still got to be cautious here as we have Apex moving up right behind them. It's going to be a very risky play, but not enough so then for Nexery as they go out in fourth place, 6 eliminations up. Up comes Void Donkey looking to get themselves situated as they move on forward, trying to improve the overall whereabouts, but still finding themselves well within reach here as Team Secret sends out a few warning grenades now. The favor getting returned as it is going to be Void Donkey and Champions looking to contest Team Secret for that winner chicken dinner.
It's almost a winner chicken dinner coming on. Void Donkey's Champion Secret. 2 versus 3 versus 4. It's a 2-3-4 scenario from this point onward. Frankie going outside of the circle, taking a little bit of the blue damage. And right with this, we will do have to see what the situation is going to go on. Champions Atomic alongside of Power. Power is low. ERK for ST. He is knocked out. He's finished up. Void Donkey's also going to lose one of the players. 2 of the players. Wait a second. Void Donkey says 2 down. Atomic coming on. Taking that atomic shot on Zeta, getting him down. Machi is also out of the premises as well, leaving only a solo player of the Void Donkeys alive. Void Donkeys instantly has been obliterated. Champions. Oh my god, this can be a winner chicken dinner potential for these guys. But Zerus is gonna spot down Power. He's gonna try spray down the player, take him out. But on the other side, the Champions are kind of scattered. So this is not looking good whatsoever, I'd say, for the Champions, because Secret, whereas they're together, Champions is scattered but have the circle for themselves.
Well, it's not a bad position for either side, so let's see who will reign supreme. Team Secret could walk away with 15 eliminations in this game. If they keep their heads in the game, which it seems to be the case here, they could definitely clutch this one out. They know exactly where to find the Champions, all huddled up in one little building as we do shift over into stage number 8. The pressure absolutely skyrocketing. Blue zone is going to start closing up very soon as well. Zeros does find a beautiful nade over on towards Power. It's now reliant solely on Atomic to try and clutch it out as they do get out of the building, trying to move forward, trying to keep up that front line, but it's going to be a beautiful wide split coming through here from the side of Team Secret as they now isolate Atomic right behind the vehicle. The shots are in, the plays are down. And now it's a 1v1 showdown for the winner chicken dinner. The shotties now coming into play. Let's see whether or not it is going to go. Yeah, it does. It is Team Secret reigning supreme as they clutch the chicken, the victory from the hands of Champion Esports.
So close, yet so far, Champions Esports, but still a very great game indeed. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Secret is the names. Ruse, GK, Frankie, and Terang that has the winner chicken dinner for themselves, for their team of the Team Secret. Decent number of eliminations. I think 7 or 8 elimination I saw the last time that they had, but I can't be wrong on that because they took down a lot of fights into the proximity. But yes, the MVP, on the other hand, it will definitely be from the Secret as well, from what I can assume. The way that they were playing, the way that they actually took all of these fights and all of these action, there's definitely going to be a winner chicken dinner for this team's MVP as well. But it's time, and it's Zerus. It is definitely Zerus. 1140 damage with 5 eliminations, 25 minutes of survival time by this guy. Amazing start. the damage, the amount of elimination that he has, it completely not only justifies his the damage justifies his elimination, but overly justifies that he is losing those potential eliminations somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, somebody is stealing the eliminations away from Xeris here. But what a phenomenal performance it was. And of course, Team Secret, they finished on 15 eliminations. So that puts them on a very comfortable 25 points for the finish of this match. Absolutely crazy. I think it's one of the biggest victories that we've had to date so far in the playoffs here, but absolutely well deserved. Of course, Champion Esports also rising from the ashes, coming through with a glorious 13 points alongside Nectary, securing themselves the final double digits, coming in on 10 points. Alter Ego, though, finishing strong with 8 eliminations, 9 points total. Void Donkey, Alpha 7, both finishing on the 7 points. And then, of course, we got 4 Thrive there, Kinotrope, and everybody else moving all the way down. Young Gun Galacticos, again, coming through with no points. A very, very unfortunate turn of events that we see coming through here for them, but Bigatron by Vitality at least adding those extra points onto the board, ensuring that they stay in that 7th position. Alter Ego, of course, now trading places there with Galacticos. And other than that, we do see the players then from Team Secret climbing up 10 positions all the way up into 8th place.
That's a very big jump, a very, very big jump. Secret did an amazing job with the winner chicken there. 53 points now. They have crossed the 50 points threshold, and they're only going to climb from this point onward. They still have 3 more matches to go, the Wrangle, the Minima, and the Wrangle. So there's still hope for the teams, even for these guys to come out at least into the top 5, or maybe if they do take a chicken dinner, maybe into the top 1 as well. But going into the second page, DRS has lost one of their placements, 48 points, M9, 46, and Sem9 is not going to be playing. Nexori, 45 on the hashtag number 12. Boom Sports, they are not playing whatsoever as well. Alpha 7, D Xavier, Silcom, Digi Alliance. These are the players that has somewhat. Alpha 7 has not lost their players. D Xavier has lost 3 of their placements. Cellcom lost 1 of their placements. Kinotrope, they're staying there as well. But ASI8 has lost 2 of their placements in this match as well, with 33 points at the very bottom of the page number 2. 33 is the threshold for the page number 2, but threshold for the page number 3 at the very top is 29 points. That is being taken by 4 Thrives Esports. Out of the 7 matches, they only managed to secure 29. DRX has 26, 25 for the Nomshing's Red Force. Champions, 22. 20 for the Wine Donkeys, 14 for the E Arena, and 10 for D plus Kia alongside of A1, 8, and 0 for Alpha. But Champions, they were on 27th position statistically because they were on the 0 points. Now, with just 2 matches done, they have climbed tremendously. At least the 6 placements that we are seeing, 22 points in the very least. And playing like this, with 2 more matches to go, they even might secure 40 plus points, judging from the same composure, same play style that they're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. So one thing that you want to see being on day 3 is you want to have those green pluses next to your name, right? You want to be moving up, up, and up. And that's the only way that you're going to get closer to securing your spot within that top 9. Unless, of course, you want to go the route of the last chance, where it's all going to be a big old gamble yet again. But yeah, big victory going out there to the side of Team Secret. Now joining us over on that first page, well secured within the top 9. But as you've said, we've got 3 more games to go.
We definitely do. We still got 3 more games to go. The next one is definitely going to be a Wrangle, then the last Minima, and then the final Wrangle to determine who will stay into the top 9 and who will not stay into the top 9, who will be going into the last chances from that point onward. But yes, I'm really excited about Wrangle. But so far, the day has kind of concluded. The 2 matches that have been concluded, they have been going somewhat into a slow pace rather than the one that we were seeing yesterday, the complete aggression that we saw yesterday. It's not that. It's a calculated aggression this time around. Every team determines, okay, where the enemies are, what they're doing, and then they rush. They're not completely like blind pushing, getting those fights done and dusted by the teams. No, it's not happening right now. So one thing that it is going to do, it is going to help a lot of teams to determine for the next few matches, okay, we have tested the lobby, how it's going, and we can definitely make a comeback out of this one from this point onward. But yes, before we head over to the match number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going for a short break. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us till the very end. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and we will see you after this highlight break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back after this break, after this highlight break with you guys once again, with almost a half day done for even the day number 3, the final day of the playoffs. This is your caster Torix. Alongside with me is going to be DK. DK, welcome back. And throughout this 2 matches of Journey, Alter Egos have done a tremendous amount of great job. Secret has done a great job. But out of these two teams, there's another one in between them that has been consistent, and that is the Champions.
Yeah, definitely. The Champions, they've been doing quite a bit of work here today. And of course, it is going to come down to game number 3 to see what the approach will be. Will they be able to step on up, right? Because, I mean, they're so close to breaking into that second page. And from the second page to get closer to the third page is not really going to take all too much. There's only 15 points between the top of the second page and the bottom of the second page, right? So one good match could quite easily move a team from anywhere on the second page much, much closer to the first page, which is where essentially the teams want to be, right? You want to get into that top 9 so you don't have to work through the last chance. But for the teams that don't make it, of course, the last chance is going to be available. That will be 6 matches that will be the decider as to who joins the top 9 in the grand final. So the pressure is going to be on. So if you don't want to stress too much, try and lock it in today, right? If not, best of luck come the last chance. It is going to be a very hot and sweaty few matches then.
Exactly. It's going to be very hard, very sweaty matches. So if you want to avoid that day, if you want to have a break, try aiming for the top 9 at the end of today's matches. But so far, it is the teams, they have done really decent. I don't know what's happening to the Yangon Galacticos. The day number 2 yesterday, they were doing so good. They started amazingly, but for some reason, they can't perform in today's matches. And these 2 matches have not been good for them, have not been kind to them. They've also lost some of their placements as well. I think it was a 1 or 2 placement that they have lost into the overall rankings as well. But still, there is a chance for them to continue out to make a comeback from this point onward, because if they do, this is an easy entry. We were talking about Yangon's getting the top 1 position potentially after today's matches yesterday, but now the thing is looking like maybe Alter Ego might just take that cake. Maybe Alter Ego might just take that win for themselves if they're consistent, because of the day number 3, the final day of the playoffs. The plane line is from the military base island all the way to the western side of Yuzhnaya Polyana.
Yeah, it's an interesting flight path indeed. So we'll see where this zone is going to be taking us. Maybe it could be complementary to the flight path, or it could go anywhere over towards that northern or western side, or maybe even smack dab center. But just to get back to what you were saying about Alter Ego, I think there's a good chance for them because they're only 15 points away from the top slot. 15 points. So one good game could see them moving right into that position. But of course, then Yangon Galacticos 3 points behind them. So if they wake up and they bring the heat, there could be 2 teams really upsetting a few others with regards to those overall rankings. So yeah, we'll find out pretty soon what the play is going to be. But starting us off is going to be a somewhat centered zone.
I mean, hasn't all zones been on the center lately for today's matches? Yeah, last one was kind of to the eastern favor, the Erangel one at the very least, going somewhere to the military base island as well. But in the very end, it did came in clutch with the main island. But once again, it is somewhat eastern circle. Again, the same scenario. Military base, a slight bit of military base this time around is in the circle. But champions, DRS, I can see another team maybe close to the proximity as well of the DRS. But so far, it is a D Xavier's. Not only just getting a 1, 2, but all the 4 players. That's a full team wipeout of E-Arena. Come on. Talk about the frags. These guys with their knives, with their machetes, everything that they had at their arsenal at that time. They just joined it at E-Arena at that point.
I mean, talk about bringing in the heat. D Xavier not wasting a moment. But let's see how they're going to fare through this looting phase. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Lipovka that is going to be hot and heated as well, as we find Alter Ego and Alpha 7 in a bit of a standoff here. Both teams want to be the one to make it out of here in one piece, but let's see who will be the one to claim that angle. As we got Daybot now feeling the pressure starting to mount as Revo and the rest of Alpha 7 continue to lay down the utilities. Fortunately, Daybot able to get out of that sticky position, at least for the time being. But you got to watch out for Squash Brew, as we saw what Squash Brew did over onto Miramar. So as soon as there's a shotty in the hands of Squash Brew, it means big, big trouble.
I mean, at this point, Alter Ego is receiving heavy casualties to their name, so they have to be very careful on what they're going to do. But there we go. Revo throwing the grenade. No connection right there. But aside from that, let's see what's going to happen. Carlo not making that aggressive move, staying into the back lines so far. We do have to see what's going to happen. But there we go. Squash Boo using the sprays and everything. And all in every scenario. No idea on how this fight is going to actually end up, because both of the parties are playing very cautiously and very slowly. Anyone who's going to make the first wrong move is instantly going to be taken down, and I do believe so. This time, it will be like obliteration. The moment the player is going to get knocked down, it will be a confirmation right there. Rosemary has been taken out, and in an instant has been finished off as well.
Yeah, very, very efficient plays coming through here from the side of Alpha 7, not wasting any opportunities as they finish it up as soon as the knocks find their way on in. Mafioso is going to be the next one to get knocked on down. No confirmation in just yet. This will be the opportunity now for Alter Ego to even the playing ground, as they do find Revo. Bringing both squads now onto a two-piece. Alpha 7, got to watch out for that two-piece. Oh, so close. Daybot taking a little bit more of that additional damage. But Alpha 7 just waiting in the wing. A nice little bit of a cheeky peek out the top here onto the side of Carrillo. Unfortunately, Daybot cannot really connect the shots. It is going to be a little bit of obstruction here, but there we have it. Krypton does move on forward, gets the play. Of course, a quick res coming their way as well. Mafioso not out of the fight just yet as Squash Brew tries to get the res. But it's going to be Squash Brew coming forward. Now looking to quickly finish off the last few parts here of Alter Ego. Fortunately, Alter Ego managed to survive. Squash Brew not knowing exactly where they are. It could buy them a little bit of time, but now it's going to be a quick res off to see who will be the one to get their numbers back up and come through with a push. The play is there. The jump shots are in. Daybot needs to be very careful. Super low in the HP, but they come through for the push. Oh, the HP is not looking very good here on the side of Alter Ego. Not quite sure if that is going to be enough to deter them. They will continue to push. Daybot getting stopped right at the bottom of the staircase. Squash Brew now getting ready and comes through with a finish. That is Alter Ego, the second team rather, to get taken on down. E-Arena, of course, being the first one to say goodbye. Alpha 7 now enjoying their spoils here as they are victorious all the way in Lebovka.
They're definitely victorious. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 13 teams are remaining. Alpha 7 having those 4 eliminations. A great start to these players' names as well. But at the same time, Alter Ego, the team, the name that was kind of like trying his best to get onto the top, is right now being eliminated early on. Talk about the chances. We were talking about, okay, Alter Ego has the highest chance, highest probability of securing the top position. But no, in a single instance, one match, a single match, the match number 3 has been taken away from them with just 1 elimination to their name now. This is going to be difficult for them. But Yangon Galacticos now will have the chance to do the same thing for themselves, get some decent number of eliminations, and maybe secure the top 3, top 2 positions by the end of this match. Champion 1 is also receiving a lot of damage of casualty coming around as one of the players of the champions gets eliminated. DX, D Xaviers, Alpha 7. This is the name. These are the names that got early frags and full squad wipeouts.
Well, let's see whether or not Yangon Galacticos can do anything. We, of course, did see them start off their match all the way down on that far southern side. So very uncontested. Nobody in the area so they can go about their loot, get themselves properly secured and set up before rolling back onto the mainland. In the meanwhile, you can't say the same here for Champion Esports. About to lose 2 players. The first one has been confirmed, and they are essentially now down to a solo, as things are looking pretty grim here, at least on the champion side. DRS starting to find their second breath now, coming through. 2 eliminations up, could maybe find a few more. The Xavier also going to start rotating all over the place. They found the side here of BTR. Full send, 2504 coming through with a quick cheeky trade-off. Finds just enough to keep them around that ridge.
Oh my god, this is going insane by these players. Come on, careful, these Xaviers. You have just knocked out one of your players, but okay, there we go. Parajin getting that revival done, but no! From the backside, Bigatron by Vitality Starled came into the clutch, taking down the revive player, but there we go. One player of Bigatron, they have also been taken down, but Parajin alongside of Levioso has been completely finished off. 2504, D Xavier, these are the 2 names that are alive, that are still standing, and they are the only hope for the team from this point onward. 2504 throwing all the smokes that he can possibly can to distance himself from the enemy side, but at the same angle, you can see into the mini-map, there's another team close to the proximity, and I think that's Wine Donkeys into the area, into the premises, but D Xavier's using the full first aid kit, full med kit, right there, full 100%, back to the 100% HP that they go, but BTR, are they going to actually push in the smoke? Or are they going to wait for this to dissipate and then push? But D Xavier, the guy, the man, he is throwing all the grenades, all the utilities that he can dump upon on the players. Kinotrope, in the meanwhile, they're also receiving the damage in a different location. But oh no, Wine Donkeys just came on D Xavier's right here, getting a knockdown, getting the confirmation, and D Xavier's with this now down to the very last guy, the solo guy, and the situation is not looking good as these 2 players are together in a single compound, but even if one gets eliminated, it will be a full finish off.
Yep, things are not looking good now for the side of D Xavier, as you said. Voin Donkey showing so much aggression as they've rotated up. They started over in Kameshki, then decided, hey, you know what? Let's go to Potato Hill. It is smack dab center zone. It is very boring and quiet and lonely out in Kameshki, so far removed from all the rest of the squads. They moved in and they got the wipe. Now, we've got 3 squads right up on the hill. As you can see, it is going to be 4 Thrives as well as BTR, and then, of course, it is going to be Alliance here as well, all trying to see who will be the first one to stop and take shots, because you don't want to share this position at all. Now, T24 OP looking to see just where exactly Alliance decides to go. And for the time being, they're not posing any threat. BTR, though, they're going to be a big problem.
I mean, at this point, all the top line teams, they're kind of afraid to over-aggress upon on the teams. But DRS is one of the few names that do not care what happens. They just go with the flow, getting another knockdown, information straight up. DRS, this is the 3rd elimination that they're going to have in Yangon Galactica. So, ladies and gentlemen, another name that is at the very top of the chart on the hashtag number 6. They are facing the casualties, but DRS, I don't think anyone's there, but it's never too bad to be on the safer side. He's throwing the constant grenades into the Harry Potter tower. No connection because nobody's there. On the other side, Bigatron versus Yangon Galacticos. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's official. From this point, Yangon Galacticos, as they're moving out from this premises, they are face-to-face against the team Bigatron by Vitality. Known Mbon, so far, he's staying into the back. He's not showing his face, but there comes Snape. Together with him, they might be able to take down this hovercraft, but on the backside, there's also the 4 Thrives. You just have to make sure that you're not in their vicinity of the fires, because if they see you, if you're in their crosshairs, that's going to be another problem that you will have to face.
Well, Nexary also now looking to roll up to the party, but a very cheeky nade onto the side there of Say Cloud, as Yangon now could potentially be losing one of their players, and the confirmation is in. Down to a solo they go. The odds not looking all too favorable currently for the side here of Galacticos, as they have one left to carry their torch. The meanwhile, Alliance is going to move up, grab a little bit of the spoils here. And already 2 eliminations to their name, and a very healthy play that they've shown so far. DRS also just riding on that ridge. So Pubg Alliance need to be very cautious. Don't get too comfortable, because you will maybe live to, well, you might not rather live to regret that decision. So we'll see where these rotations are going to look to take them. Doesn't seem like they will be moving out just yet, and instead they are going to be just waiting in the wing. We've got another team just over towards their western side. So again, caution has to be the name of the game, rather.
I mean, right now, it's very difficult to know what can possibly happen with all of these players, all of these names, because everybody's trying their level best to survive till the very end, and that survivability, that survival mindset is what's actually hindering their performance, in my opinion, because they were doing so good yesterday with the aggressions. Everybody was trying to find someone, get those aggressions done, but today, as they changed their momentum, things do not work their way, especially for Yangon Galacticos. They need to start getting back on the aggressive sides. They need to start taking the fights as soon as they see them. But so far, it is Pubg Alliance getting that aggressive on the Yangon Galacticos, as they know it is only the last guy. The 2 players, the 3 players, in fact, has just rushed upon this team. There we go. Yangon Galacticos finally getting on the aggressive side. He's going to go for the reload. That 12 kills on the reload, and he takes down 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 of the Pubg Alliance. This is what I'm talking about. This is the momentum that Yangon Galacticos need. You need to be on the aggressive. You need to be the predator instead of being the prey from this point onward. This is a potential 1 versus 3 if the grenade connected up. But he's definitely not going to throw the grenade right now. He's going to get that as 12k, wait for the players. On the meanwhile, ASI8 is receiving the casualties as well, as 1 player, 2 player gets taken down.
Oh, we said goodbye to BTR, but let's see. Are we going to say goodbye to Romeo Boy? Or is it going to be Alliance, the next team on their way? The
my God.
Yes. Yangon Galacticos now moving up into 4th place. Absolutely amazing. But they're not out of the woods just yet. It is going to be the side of Team Secret rushing up towards them. Romeo Boy getting blown to pieces as the utilities come flying on in. Meanwhile, it's going to be DRS and Alpha 7 getting ready for a bit of a showdown. Quite a bit of a trade going in both directions. A 1v1 left to define the honor for both squads. Alpha 7 getting caught out.
What?
Down they go. Example, making an example of them. But you got to watch out. Champion Esports up on the ridge. Kino could definitely look to play the upset here.
I mean, this single compound, it's been a destructive compound whatsoever. Everybody that's trying to move into the squad house, it's instantly getting obliterated or whatsoever. Example, now the guy has 5 eliminations. The full team has 5 eliminations. So example, with the rest of his team members, it is 5 eliminations, and they're kind of still on the hashtag number 9. They still need to square up, start to get more of those cheeky plays, those eliminations for themselves if they want to hold out the vicinity for themselves. But so far, it is 4th rise on our screen with 2 players remaining, Naki and the other guy, whose name shall not be named. So 4th rise, he's cooking the grenade. He's going to throw on the Kinner trope, but the connection is inevitable. There we go. The connection got into the inevitable position. He got a knockdown. He got a finish right there. It's an instant 1 more confirmation for 4th rise. 4 eliminations so far, ladies and gentlemen, for the 4th rise. But next, Roy Apex, once again being the predator, taking the players out of the vicinities. Nexori, you have to be careful as well, because right now at this point you're also losing the players. You need as much casualties that you can possibly put on the enemy side. Champions came from the top of the mountain, took down one of the players of the DRS as well. Last time we saw them near the squad house, and I'm pretty sure they're definitely going to be fighting there whatsoever once again. But for Thrives, they're going back to the potato from where they came from. Champions, DRS, that's exactly the fight that we were been waiting for, outside of the squad house near the mountain ridge top. And there we go, Champions having the upper hand.
Ooh!
Never mind.
Oh, Samsa! What? That nade was crazy. I mean, I thought it would have connected at least to the top of the rock, but instead it comes over the hill and sends Champion Esports right back into the lobby. Absolutely amazing placement on that play. There is going to be ASI8 now, looking to hold up against the side of Nexory. Up comes Calm now, coming through with a beautiful play onto the side of Apex. One down, a few more to go. Not out of the woods just yet, but it is going to be Lucky now, tempting fate as they ride it on the ridge. Playing on the stairs, hoping to secure the numbers here for the team. But this could be Calm trying to clutch it out. The utility is out. This could be a finish for them. Oh, no, it was a fake. Wasn't a grenade. I think it was a flashbang or a smoke grenade that got sent out there. So a very good bit of suppression coming through here from the side of Calm. But let's see whether or not ASI8 can now lock it in. Can they get their hands on that winner chicken dinner? And of course, we are in stage 4. ASI8 go down and we are left with 6 teams. 6.
Oh my god.
5 actually. It's just dropped to 5 where we have everybody in this little tiny zone.
Oh my god. Right here, from this point onward, we are in the top 5. 4 Thrives, Nexori, Secret, there's Kinotrope, there's DRS, but oh, wait a second, Potato once again, and DRS, Secret. Wait a second. There was a team in the same compound a while ago when the DRS actually came in as well. Is it the same teams that DRS is going to face again? But 4 Thrives from the backside is coming in with the clutch, taking down one of the players of the DRS. An example being the final example for the players. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Is he going to be able to survive, take down the Secrets player, or is he going to get eliminated?
Well, we are going to see pretty soon. Noki now coming through, looking for that finishing play. One of the 2 players left now for the side here of 4 Thrives. And there we have it. Team Secret wrapping it up. Down to 4 teams we go. 20 minutes in. And the game is almost done. 4 Thrives holding a good spread, good angle here onto the side of Team Secret. But let's see what is going to come through. Kinotribe still holding with their players. They still have the 2-piece left. Oh, come on. Who's going to do it next? Well, it seems like it will be Noki as 4 Thrives gets the jump in. It's going to be Tarang down. Frankie holding up here. The full send is coming through. 4 Thrives. They want it. They want these eliminations. They want to add the additional points. Already sitting on 6 in total. Will they make it 7? We'll find out soon here. Team Secret also not looking too bad as they sit very comfortably with 5. The nades now starting to connect on up. As you can see, the numbers up on the top of the screen starting to dwindle as well. Kinotrope, one of the few teams on the northern side of that zone, but you got to watch out where you rotate, as you might rotate yourself right into the lobby. The final 3 duos now remain to fight it out for that winner chicken dinner.
I mean, it is the top 3. 2 versus 2 versus 2. A complete equal Mexican standoff point from this point onward. There is the 4 Thrives 2 players. There is the Team Nexori's 2 players. Kinotropes' 2 players. And just a single moment that they need to utilize that and make everything into their own favor. But 4 Thrives, I don't know why you're still outside of the circle. You need to go in. You need to secure a decent location and maybe majority of the area of the circle if you want to like have any good chances. But they're very cautious. They're staying very cautious of the area. That there might be someone prone down into the areas of ridges, anywhere into the vicinity that can potentially harm them. They want to make sure they want to rule it out before they stay and get out of the cars. So Fourth Thrives, they're scouting first, then they're going to do something out for the rest of the teams. But I want to see the Kinotrope versus the Nexori because the fight has actually ensued. Kinotrope being taken down, and there we go. Finale. It's a knockdown. It's a confirmation in an instant. There we have it. That's one down, one more to go. The Kinotrope, but Nexori's flare has been spotted down by the team. Fourth Thrives as well. And there we have it. The players now know exactly where the fight is happening, where exactly the players are remaining. And this is the time, this is the moment that Fourth Thrives needs to push and rush upon on the players.
Well, let's see if they can get this one in the bag. Fourth Thrives now still keeping their distance. Don't want to get too involved here, but we have no other choice because they are one of two squads that remain in this game. Stage 5 just finished up. We are looking at the start of stage number 6. Again, the teams choosing violence. We love it because we've seen an absolutely insane performance so far. 8 eliminations currently for the side of Fourth Thrives. Will they hit the double digits? Or will we see Team Nexori instead come through clutching it up? Again, it is going to be a big old race to see where these teams will be able to secure their overall positionings. Fourth Thrives, if I'm not mistaken, are still all the way on page number 3. So this performance could really elevate their overall standings. So they will need to be victorious. They will need to clutch it out. They will need to get that winner chicken dinner. And now it is going to be go time as Nexori starts with the rotation. 30 seconds or less remains until that blue zone is going to start constricting. And this is the play. It's going to be Fourth Thrives having a bit of a look around, seeing where Nexori is going to choose to stop. And, well, it is all going to come down to the wire.
It definitely did. Fourth Thrives. Fourth Thrives. There we go. Throwing the grenade, but Nexori just barely surviving that grenade. It didn't hit them. It didn't even came close to the players, but there we go. Both parties back to the 2-2 man that they are, 75% HP. Naki with almost the full booster up on him on his side. He's still like rotating his cars from one location to another, trying to find an open angle against the rest of the players of the Nexori. But I kind of want to see the Nexori's that POV as well on how well are they secured behind the ridges, behind the trees, or any rocks that they can possibly have for themselves. So it would have been amazing, but there we go. They're throwing the grenades, they're throwing the utilities that they had, but it's all going in vain. It's all going in vain. Nobody is getting that grenade connections. You're just wasting your utilities at this point. You need to get close to the proximity of the players by using your smokes, then closing in, then using the grenades and all those throwables at that point.
Well, this will now become a bit of a standoff here. Naki and their teammate holding it nice and steady. Nexori now getting down on their bellies, creeping their way up in towards the zone, trying to smoke it out. But let's see if Nexori is going to be able to maybe clutch it up. So far, it does seem like the HP is leaning in favor of Fourth Thrives. They do have a little bit more, but it's not going to matter too much. As you can see, Naki keeping a very close eye on Lucky, waiting for the angle, sends it out, finds the hits, finds the damage.
God.
Now, one player stands between Fourth Thrives and that potential victory. A quick little patch up coming through here as Fourth Thrives get their HP bars recovered. Now it's going to be that send. Oh, beautiful angle, beautiful spray. The damage is in, and that is it. Nexori gets eliminated. Fourth Thrives come through victorious, securing the chicken dinner. And of course, with that, potentially making the trip over onto page number 2.
Oh, this is a potential trip to the page and number 2 for sure. Fourth Thrives with the winner chicken dinner. Naki, Falak, T4, and IQQ. This is the match number 3. Only 2 more remaining. They don't have much time. Nobody has enough time, enough matches to come from the number 3 all the way up to the number 1, maybe into the top 9. But if they do really good, there is the possibility. The possibility is always there. Naki is going to be the MVP of this match. 5 eliminations, 825 damage. 24 minutes and 40 seconds of survival time by this guy. Great start whatsoever for the 4 Thrives after the first 2 initial matches not being very good for them, being eliminated early on or just securing 3-4 points each match. The situation is kind of turning for these guys. This might be the momentum that they needed to make a comeback, but going to the match ranking, it is 20 points, 10 for eliminations, 10 for placements, and a total of 20. Nexori with 11, 5 eliminations, 6 placement. DRS with 8 eliminations and a total of 11 points. Yet again, having a very consistent game. Secret, 9 points. Kinotrope, 8 points for them. 5 for Wine Donkeys. Alpha 7 with the 5 alongside of Yangon Galacticos. The Xavier 4. Champions at 3 by Vigortron by Vitality. Also 3. 2 for ASI 8. Silcom Diggy Alliance 2. Alter Ego with the 1. And E Arena with no point whatsoever because they got chosen as a violence subject at one point in time with the knives and everything. So I'm not blaming them for the 0 eliminations, but Tribero Messi into the overall ranking. Still on the very top, Vampire on the top, RQ on the 3rd as well. The 10 games that they have played yesterday, they're still staying on the exact same placement, 1, 2, and 3. Yangon joining up close to them with 2 more placement points, climbing up 66 total points, 66 for Hora Esports as well, but they're not going to play. Alter Ego with 65 as well, just a single point of a difference. Secret climbing up as well with 62, 59 for Bigatron, and DRS with 59 as well.
I mean, the pressure is building. One game could change it up in that top 9. But here we go, taking a look at page number 2. 4 Thrives jumping up 7 slots, all the way from 19th into 12th position, knocking on the door. And they are right behind it. 10 points is what 4 Thrives need now to gain entry into the top 9. 11 if they want to be pretty sure about it, but it is going to be Nexry and Talon standing in their way. So 4 Thrives will have to do everything they can. But Alpha 7 also hot on their heels, only 2 points behind them. So it's all going to come down to the very last few matches we have to see who will be making it in and who will be moving on to the last chance. But so far, a very hairy day that we've had so far for our games and our matches. But, I mean, Celcom Diggy Alliance having a little bit of a tough run, right? They tried a few angles, a few approaches. Unfortunately, not really going their way. Instead, they've lost 2 positions.
I mean, every single time it's happening to the Celcom Diggy Alliance. And because of the same game style that they're doing, it's kind of easy to read them at this point by the different teams. They're kind of reading them. They're knowing, okay, this is the pattern that they actually use. So why don't we just do this and just take them down? And that's where the Celcom Diggy Alliance is right now lacking. They need to change their strategy up. They need to change their thinking from this point onward if they want to secure some decent number of points or just completely go on the aggressive side. Just don't think, just go for the aggression. ASI 8 on the 3rd page of very top, 35 points. DRX 26, 25 for the Namchings Red Force, 25 for the Champions, Win Donkey 25, 14 for E Arena, Deep Liskia with 10, and A1 Esports 8, Alpha Gaming 0 whatsoever. This is the page at number 3, but only 2 more games, DK. 2 more games. Not a lot of games, just a Miramar, just a Wrangle, and that's it. Then we will have the top 9 that we are waiting for the longest time, for the past 2 days of action, to see who's going to go straight into the grand finals.
Yeah, we're going to find out pretty soon who that would be. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tough order here. DRX, I think they've pretty much accepted what it is. They're not going to be making it through into the finals. Of course, they will make their way into the last chance. But 4 Thrives rising to the occasion, as you've said. We've got one of each left, one Miramar, one Erangel, and that is the only opportunity for these teams to get what they need to do. Who will it be, though? Are we going to see a drastic shift in the top 9, or is it going to stay the way it is for now?
I mean, we do have to see what's gonna happen, but this is the Miramar, this is the wrangle that's going to occur to us. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking a short break for a tad bit of time. Enjoy the highlights, and we will back right as we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to move into game number 4. We're almost there. We almost know who's going to be making it into the grand finals, or at least who will be making it into the top 9. Of course, we are heading into our final Miramar right here in day 3 of the playoffs. And of course, it is going to be a very hot and spicy few matches we have. Of course, we've seen already the first Miramar of the day. Quite the challenging game, right? All the way over towards that western side. So I'm curious as to where the zone's going to be taking us this time around. Are we going to go a little bit more east, a little bit more central, or all the way up on towards the north? We'll find out soon. But Torix, I'm not going to ask you for predictions this time around because, yeah, I'll let you be. Unless you want to make a prediction, you're welcome to, but I'm not going to demand one.
I mean, it's been with me, and you have just experienced that firsthand into the match number 1. The team that I predict instantly dies majority of the time. 99% of the time, they get eliminated. They just get wiped out. But on the other hand, you have a really good history of the predictions. I've known. As an analyst, you are. Oh my God, your analysis is on point majority of the time. But yes. I'm not going to do any kind of prediction. I don't want to jinx any of these teams. I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry if you got eliminated because of me, but it's all jokes. It's all jokes. We know that. So, talking about Miramar. It is the final Miramar, and after that, it's the final wrangle that is about to be. So, what we are talking and what we are seeing so far is that Fourth Rise, first of all, they just got the chicken dinner. They will try to maintain their momentum in this match as well. They will try to go for a little bit of aggressive side. Alter Egos, on the other hand, they need to do something as well because they just have been, I think, taken down 1 or 2 placements from the top to bottom. Yangon has secured once again the top 4 for themselves, but we're not going to take too much time. We're not going to talk about these silly things. We're going to take you straight into the action of the Miramar, starting from the Los Higos all the way up to the Torre Ahumada.
This is an interesting setup for the teams now to work their way up the side of the map. Let's see how these drop locations, or the drops rather themselves, are going to board as the teams now start to disengage, heading on through. The big reveal is, of course, going to be where that zone will be taking us. For now, it is a mystery, which will hopefully be revealed pretty soon. But yeah, it does seem like pretty normal jump locations coming through for a big majority of the squads here. Nobody really having to alter too much from what we've seen come through in that first match. It's going to be Yangon, the first ones to move to that far southern side. Kinotrope also seemingly going for the usual setup that they've got, and it's almost exactly the same zone that we had in the previous one.
Oh God, no, not again. I did not want to see this kind of like a circle going once again. But anyhow, we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Valle del Mar, champions. Nearby them is going to be Yangon Galacticos, but I do see 2 of the players of the Yangon all the way down south near the Los Higos, near the Partona area, getting their loots, getting their arsenal. So it's a 1-1-1-1 split at this time. A very, very big split for the Yangon. Selcom Digi Alliance, close to the proximity of the Los Leones. The fight will definitely ensue over there at that point, but the Xaviers are looking from the top to the team ASIA. 2504 gets taken down at Levioso, just staying there. Paragin into a different vicinity. But D-Xavier closing on. He's super low. You have to be careful. Come on, D-Xavier, throw all the smokes that you can use and get that revival done as soon as possible, because at this point, you need to have as much utilities that you can dump on the enemy side before they can aggress on you.
Well, let's see whether or not ASI 8 is going to be able to clutch this one up as they move on forward, re-knocking 2504. Xavier just holding steadily. Parisian trying to see what they can bring to the party here. Leviso gonna watch out from up on high. Send is there. Good opener coming through now as ASI 8 are being put on the back foot. Parisian absolutely crazy. Coming in with 2 knocks. The confirmation is in. It's gonna be Calm. The last one now left to defend here, at least on the ground floor. Oh, there we go. They found them out. But fortunately for ASI8, they still have another player remaining. It is going to be Crypto just holding on the back end. But look at this. It is going to be Selcom Diggy. Now looking to sneak on through here, trying to capitalize on the opportunity. Will Alliance be able to get their hands on a quick finish at the expense of D Xavier? Or will we see that response now as D Xavier trying to get themselves back on their feet?
I mean, they are trying to get themselves back into their feet, but Selcom Diggy Alliance, so they have came straight up into the same vicinity where D Xavier's was. The very top of this, still in construction building. They're going. Kasim, in fact, is going on the top, and he definitely will be judging the player. Levioso is still on the top, just chilling, waiting for the players. Kasim gets instantly knocked down. He can't even jump down straight up because he's just gonna get that much of a damage. But the players are trying to come here to get that revival done. But no, I don't think Kasim is gonna be able to get that revive. The answer is no. That's a third elimination that they're gonna have. The D Xavier, in fact, is going to have for themselves. And not only they have successfully taken the fight against the team ASI8, but also the Selcom Diggy Alliance. From this point onward, Selcom, they'll know the locations, but Fourth Rise, the last match, winner chicken takers, they are once again engaged into a tussle. But with this time, it is a different name. It is a different team. Nexori into the vicinity, taking down one. Fullock is knocked out. The Uzi has to utilize. It has to be utilized. The player's jumping down. The Uzi going on the reload. He's going to go down with that as well. Is going to try to take down the players. But Nexori, look at the players' HP. They're just one HP away, one bullet away from being eliminated, being knocked out. But Fourth Rise is just that much under pressure that they don't know that. They are making sure that they are staying into the safe side before they get that knockdown, and that's what's hurting them. That's what making them stop into their tracks, and the grenades are actually approaching them because of that as well.
I love this approach coming through from Nexory and Fourth Rise. This time they decided to not wait around. Instead, they are going to look to get nice and aggressive. Fourth Rise now back onto a two-piece as they're looking to bring their numbers back into contention. The send is there. Demo could be the next one to be picked up. Let's see if Kiravas is going to be able to survive the onslaught. The push, the follow-through is there, and it is Fourth Rise ending the run for Nexory as they will be our first squad making their way back into that lobby, having to wait to see what Erangel will hold for them. But Fourth Rise now, as you've said, they are going to try and climb their way up the overall standings. And if they keep that momentum going, they could really lock it in for the rest of this game.
That is true. That is absolutely true. But Selcom Diggy Alliance, in the meanwhile, they get eliminated. They get obliterated by the D Xaviers. That's 6 elimination. Alter Ego talking about these guys at the hashtag number. I think I saw them at 6. Yes, they're at the hashtag number 6. Yangon Galacticos is at the number 4 now from this point onward. But ASI8, the solo guy, the one and only Crypto, he's the final hope for the team. And he's just waiting for the opportunity that, okay, let the players leave the area, leave the premises. I'm just going to play it safe from this point onward because there is no point in playing with the aggression. You're at the number 19. You are going to go into maybe, just maybe, the last chance, but why not try to take it out with a fight? Try to get at least the top 9 while you're at it. Give everything you have for that. And even I believe at this point, talking about the hashtag number 19, that's 35 points. Number 9 is 59. So meaning 29 points they need for that climbing of the hashtag number 9. So with 2 matches just remaining, it's very hard. Very hard. You have to be very, I'd say, on point with your aggressions and your elimination numbers with the placements to actually achieve this kind of like a performance. But DRS, they just got a knockdown, and now they're just moving maybe close to the proximity of the players that they just knocked out. Maybe they want to take the fight. Maybe they want to get those aggressions up upon on these guys. But no, so far what I can see is not any kind of aggressive stances or something like that. Nope, nothing of those sorts.
Well, it's an interesting play coming through now as DRS starts to move on forward. It's going to be Kinotrope just ahead of them. DRS, oh, getting picked on up. Down to a 3-piece they go. Very, very swift reactions here from Kinotrope. Example, spotting out BTR as they do push on from that western front. But not a good position here for DRS to be in. It's going to be two teams now just encircling them, looking to apply that pressure. It could still be a bit of hope, a bit of a chance for DRS to maybe still make it out of this one in one piece. Good opening play. Oh, there we go. The responses are in. DRS now being put on quite a bit of a back foot. Both of their two leading players now have been brought to their knees. BTR not going to be pushing up too aggressively, but I like this quick repositioning here as DRS will get eliminated. But BTR, now they've moved into position, right? Just setting themselves up outside of what we just witnessed over there. Now, E-Arena going to be trying their luck against the side here of DXaver. You see Barajan and the rest of the crew now starting to move on up. The blue zone has caught up to them as well. But E-Arena, one of the newer positions over onto the edge as they are waiting for DXavier to make that move.
I mean, at this point, nobody wants to make the first move, but E-Arena, yes, this is the time. You're not actually going to be able to like secure the top 9 position, so why not? Why not make other players suffer as well? But oh no, NC2 in a single shot of the DBS. He gets taken down. It's obliteration. DXavier's 2504 also gets a knockdown. Maybe it will be a confirmation, but oh my god, Tranky comes into the place and he gets the last player of DXavier out of the vicinity, out of the game. DXavier is also out of the match. And with this, DX now on the hashtag number 11 that they were residing with 8 elimination this game. This was the team that not only took down one complete squad, but 2 different squads at one point in time. And they are the one that have been eliminated from this match onward. They're not going to be able to secure more points or more placement into the top 10 maybe from this point onward. Voin Donkey is another name that is close to the proximity. They're also trying to their level best with the long ranges, in which case, look at that. That was a decent spray. A lot of headshots, connectivity. The player super low. Still manages to get into the safe side, but no, the other guy has been spotted. Another headshot spree coming in. And Alpha 7 receiving some heavy damage on their sides.
Yeah, Void Donkey just trying to ride the ridges here. Down to a 2-piece they go. Alpha 7 definitely in a position to make this very, very difficult for them. As Void Donkey now loses yet another player. It is not looking good. Unless, of course, you are Alpha 7 right now. Yep, Void Donkey doing what they can. Trying to outlast. Quickly trying to put a big gap between them. And the position there of Alpha 7. Trying to get a good read on what the play is. But again, very limited options. Not a lot to do. As we are, of course, heading to the end of our second stage. But we still have 10 or rather 11 teams left in the lobby. Well, we see Alpha 7 now go in for the finishers. Slow, steady bleed out here for the side of Void Donkey. Squash Boo doing what their name suggests. Moves up and just squashes each of the Void Donkey players. Now, Team Secret going to start to make their push as they start to climb the hill. Up ahead, you see Kinotrope holding nice and steady. They've already found 4 eliminations so far. This time around, Team Secret, though, still a long way away from that insane performance we saw from them coming through in the previous Murmur.
I mean, that is true, but at the same time, it's just the 2 more matches. There's not a lot of gameplay to do for some of the teams, the majority of the teams, I have to say, at this point. But talking about Secret so far, Secret, yes, they did do a lot of great stuff for themselves, but GK is here, close to the proximity of another team. Kinotrope is in the vicinity as well. There's the Secret versus Kinotrope. That's 3 players down with the Secret, now down to the very last guy. That is GK. He's the only hope with the 2 grenades in hand. He's going to cook it up. Levi, are you going to be able to get that connectivity? It is the Levi skin, right? I do believe so. I kind of want to believe so. But GK, once again, a grenade in hand. You have to change it to a UMP-45. Take the fight. Peak fire. He gets the final player out. And with this, Kinotrope out of the match. With 3 eliminations in total, GK is now down to the last 2 guys. They're throwing the smokes, making sure there's a cover that they can get that survival done. Yangon on the backside of the champions esports, they are here in the vicinity as well. So it's not only just the secret, it's not only just the champion, there's also the Yangon that can actually potentially enter this area and take the fights.
Well, as we know, if Yangon and Alter Ego are going to be trying to make that race for pole position, they have to lock it in. Looking at Team Secret, they could also look to do exactly the same. But for 4 Thrives and Alpha 7, if they want to try and make a push to get into the top 9, they will have to up the ante already. As you can see, both teams coming in with quite a bit of that aggression here. 4 eliminations and 3 respectively. But now they got to make it count though. Champions. This is playing a really good game so far here today. 25 points in just the past few matches. Now securing that additional elimination. Trying to see if they can maybe pick up a few more. It does seem like the shots are not going to connect on up just yet. Team Secret playing it nice and quiet. Not going to be looking to get too unnecessarily aggressive. Trying to just survive all the way into that late stage of the game. But they might not have much of a choice. As we can see Alter Ego moving up right there behind them. So the pressure is starting to mount Team Secret now, knowing that they need to get out of dodge. But for the time being, things are not too certain just yet.
The tap-taps are not working right now. The tap-taps are not working. The long-range spray, you have to change these. You have to go close to get into the close proximity of the secret, of the champions at this point. Take the fight head on. Alter Ego, you're in desperate need of those placement points, those elimination points that can potentially help you guys. This is the time. You're not going to have another match. There is just one more match after this. You're not going to have more than that matches to secure the top 2, top 3 placement for yourself. Yes, you are in the safe for now. You're in the top 9, and if that's the placement that you want to go, just the top 9s to get into the grand final, that's your goal, then you're free to do whatever you want to do from this point onward. But if you want to be on the number 1, you have to start aggressing from this point onward. Alpha 7 got a lot of damage, but player actually manages to heal himself. Okay, there we go. Revo is also low. He's going to use the medkit, get back to the 100% HP in a short while. And with this, Alpha 7 once again back to the action to try and take that aggressive stances. 4 Thrives, on the other hand, they are struggling now. They are struggling as the second player of 4 Thrives gets taken down. That's the first one. Second one is very low. The player just barely got that revive, but Secret Zeus, there we go. Taking down Table. Alter Egos are finally facing the casualties. I love that Zeus. The peak, the fire, the shotgun connectivity. Finally, he's missing all the shots, and in a single instance, Elva comes into the play with that low HP clutch, takes the Secret out.
Beautiful play coming through here from Alter Ego, still managing to hold on to their 3 players at least for the time being. But the pressure, it is on, right? We got 8 teams left, 16 minutes in already. Several teams now trying everything available to them to climb up the points. As you can see, 4 Thrives now right there on the doorstep. They've got 54 points, as you can see. 9th place currently is sitting on about 60 points, right? DRS, 59 plus 1. So the pressure is boiling over. BTR, they need points if they want to ensure that they will be safe come into that last match. But now, Alpha 7 also going to be looking to do exactly the same thing here as 4 Thrives. But we do see a knock now connecting up. It is going to be Young on Galacticos doing the damage. Mernat Boy quickly falling back into cover. Hard Smile trying to move on up. Romeo Boy getting spotted as well. Alpha 7 and 4 Thrive both now knocking on the door here for Yangon Galacticos.
That is amazingly done by these guys. But now, Yangon, come on. Push forward with Master Smile. He's the guy that's knocked down. Mernet Boy receiving a lot of damage to his angles. Staying into the safe side. Okay, that's a headshot. Connectivity on the 4th rise. Even I couldn't see the guy. I wonder how did he find the player out? But Alva, he finally gets the confirmation. A knockdown again. It's a confirmation this time around by the hand of BTR. Dabo is also getting a knockdown, a confirmation, and slowly and steadily, I do feel like it's the end of Alter Ego. It's going to be the end of Alter Ego. Yangon Galacticos, that's the 2 eliminations that they have so far, and they are trying to get some more and more eliminations. But Bigatron by Vitality. Bigatron so far outside, but Circle Shift, oh my goodness. Alpha 7, the only team at the very centralized position of the circle. Yangon Galacticos close to the 4 Thrives, close to the area of E Arena. And there's also ASI8 Crypto, the solo guy that is still residing in the circle somehow through all of these hardships, all of these fights that actually ensued throughout the game and everything. This guy's still alive. This guy's still surviving. He's trying to make himself come into the top 5, maybe at least the top 3 if he wants to get some decent number of points from this match at the very least.
Well, Crypto might succeed in doing exactly that. Now, it's going to be Bigatron by Vitality. Team the furthest away from zone currently. They've got about 20 seconds or so left on the clock, so they will have to start rotating. You don't want to get caught out by the blue zone unnecessarily. And of course, as we know, BTR, one of those teams that need the points to ensure that they stay within the top 9. As you can see the points there on the side, definitely starting to close on up here. One single performance can be enough to change it all. Now, BTR starting to rotate towards a more western angle as they come through looking for an opportunity. Fortunately, the town is going to provide at least a little bit of decent coverage for them. E Arena just ahead of them there, left with their 2 players, but up on the hillsides, it is going to be 4 Thrives for luck now, getting knocked on down. Champions Esports feeling the heat as Yangon Galacticos now look to leverage beautiful bit of high ground control that they have here. Champions are going to find it quite difficult to push up on the hillside, especially with so many teams still holding in the surrounding area.
I mean, Champions Esports, they're kind of surrounded at this point. There's no way to get out. Yangon Galacticos, yes, they are kind of looking at them, but there we go. ERK Forest T, the player has been spotted, but still not managing to get that confirmation on the guy. Okay, Keno tried to get him up on the rooftop of the car and just yeet out of there, but Joker in the meanwhile is going to take down Say Cloud. Say Cloud is knocked down. Alpha 7 is the only team with a circle into their shift. The rest of the teams, you can see Yangon, 4 Thrives in the backside. There's the E Arena on the southern side, southeastern corner. There is the team Champions. There is Alter Egos close to the proximity of ASI8. But Bigatron is, I'd say, in the safest position. They're just chilling out there outside of the circle, waiting for the players to take the fight, and then they're just going to enter the circle whatsoever. But Yangon Galacticos, now they're going to give that healing towards their players. A Arena, in the meanwhile, it's going to take down the players of the 4 Thrives on the hashtag number 8. They get eliminated. Only 1 placement point out of from the 5 eliminations that they have, meaning a total of 6 points increment that they're going to have from at least this match. This match has not been good for these guys, and the chances are getting more slim and slimmer for them to get into the top 9 from this point onward. E Arena, so far, 6 elimination, 2 players standing, closing in toward the players, but also making sure that they have their vehicles, they have their transportation. So if they want to like disengage from the fight and just get into the circle, they can easily do that. But Joker gets taken down. It's Tourniquet, the final hope, the only hope for the players from this point onward. Non-Mbon, he's waiting, he's chilling, he's in the circle, and he don't need to do anything.
Want to see if Bigatron can bag this one. So close, though. going to be comfortable with those placement points coming their way as well. Currently 7th place, only will be awarding them 1. But Alpha 7, as we saw a little bit earlier, having a very good read on what the zone is going to bring their way. Now, all they got to do is survive and ride out the storm. For elimination is going to be looking pretty good for them. Young on Galacticos now up on the ridge, getting spotted out. Bigatron starts sending it out. Trying to keep them just outside of that zone, but this is where it's going to be absolutely devastating now for Yangon because they don't have much of an option here. They have to move on forward. ASI8 is going to be the team to fall next. Yangon Galacticos also getting absolutely demolished. Now, E Arena out in the blue. Don't see them really lasting. Yep, there we go. Down they are. Oh, BTR getting spotted. The easy clap coming through here from Atomic J. They find the first. Will they find the rest? BTR trying to hold on. Alter Ego still in this match. Very quiet down on that southern side. You can see Alpha 7 now starting to move further and further down south. Champions trying to scout out all over the place, but they will get absolutely jumped. As Atomic gets dropped down to their knees. Krypton going to start moving on forward. Alter Egos might be on a solo, but they are not out of this fight just yet. Beautiful show up coming through with the utility, just flying all over the compound. Fortunately here for the side of Champions, they are just outside, but a quick little spread coming through as Krypton makes the first play.
Nice.
One down, looking for the second. Atomic could be the final contender left to fall for Champions. But will they get the clutch? Is Krypton going to be able to seal their fate? The answer is yes. Champions out in fourth. Valiant effort from them, but Alter Ego denies them access to that top 3.
That was an amazing shot from the DBS. This is the second time we have seen this kind of a clutch, staying into the cover, getting out, instantly hitting the player, getting back into the cover. BTR versus Alter Ego. Same going on, and BTR won that fight. Now, Alpha 7, 3 players. Bigatron by Vitality, also 3 players. It's a 3 versus 3, but the BTR is facing the casualties because they just got out of a fight. They just witnessed the fight, and they just won it out. So they have some casualties on their side. The damage there. Bigatron by Vitality, it's the last guy on Mbon, and he's just gonna give his elimination towards the play zone. It's an easy dub for the Alpha 7. Winner chicken dinner for these guys into the match number 4. The second last match has been concluded for the playoffs, and it is none other than Alpha 7. Amazingly done by these guys, even as a 3-man till the very end, surviving. It's I'd say the survivability just over there, it's amazing by all of these players. Just how much can they accumulate all the way till the very end, make sure every single one of them, majority of them, is going to be alive. So Alpha 7, they're the ones with the winner chicken dinner. But the main question still remains on how many points are they going to be into the overall leaderboard after this, because Alpha 7, this is their chicken, and they are kind of gradually getting the ladder. They're climbing up the ladder and everything. So this big jump is definitely going to help them a lot, by a lot. But still, the MVPs, there's also that stake. $50 for the MVP in the grand finals. And this is their practice right now. Tourney K is the MVP. 537 damage, 5 eliminations, and 22 minutes of survival time by this individual guy.
Yeah, what a play indeed. Absolute performance that we've saw coming through here from them. E Arena also surviving up until the later stages of the game, but it's a good turnaround because the previous match, we didn't see any points coming through for E Arena, right? They got sent back with nothing but a bag of donuts, so well played to them. But the big question is going to be what the overall point situation looks like. Of course, we've got to start off with those match rankings to see how many each of our squads were able to secure, and of course then how that impacts the standings by itself. Alpha 7 though coming in clutch here with 15 points, triple that of what they got in the previous game. So absolutely amazing performance. Bigatron by Vitality walking away with 10 alongside Alter Ego and E Arena. Champions coming through with a 9. Then D Xavier also locking in 8 points for Thrive. Kinotrope walking away on 6 points apiece. Galacticos, though, only finding themselves 5. And of course, Nexary, the only squad going back with nothing to show for this game.
I mean, they're the only team with 0 points, and that's definitely going to hurt them a lot. But going into the overall ranking, ladies and gentlemen, number 1, number 2, the 10-10 matches, the teams that have concluded, they are still there. But Alter Ego, right here, ladies and gentlemen, 75 points. 4 more points, and they will potentially take away the number 1 placement from the Tri-Barrel Messi, and they will become the crown top player of this playoff series. But aside from that, RRQ Ryu, they're also going to lose one of their placements, 72 points, 71 for the Yangon Galacticos. Only 1 more match remain as well. 8 more points they need. Bigatron by Vitality, 69 points, 66 for the Hora. Secret with 66, 62 for Alpha 7, and that's a very big jump coming straight up into the top first chart, the top 9 scenario. It's a great thing for these guys, but they have to manage. They have to manage this from this point onward, because it's the final match. If you lose even a single placement, you're not going to be going straight to the grand finals. You will be moving to the last chance as well.
Yep, and the last chance, I mean, there's still a little bit of hope for the teams to grind their way through that to secure those final few slots, the final few options or opportunities to get into the grand finals. The easier approach, of course, is just go for top 9, right? It's easy. Sure. Right? Looking at the competition, yeah, it's easy breezy. No, it's nothing. It's very far from easy. Of course, these teams on this page, I believe these would be the squads that could be in the running for that top 9 contention. But it is going to be a pretty heavy place still to be had. I mean, DRS, they've been slowly being moved down that board. Same could be said here for Nextry. Xavier, though, also starting to come through with a bit of that upwards movement. But I think the biggest play that we've seen so far, of course, has to be that jump that we saw from Alpha 7 all the way up into 9th position. And of course, they were on this page not too long ago, right? They were sat right over there in Xavier's slot. But now, taking a look at our final page, Champions Esports and Voin Donkey are going to be holding nice and steady. But you also got to commend the efforts being brought in by Champions. It's unfortunate that we only saw them today, but 34 points so far in just the past 4 games, really not a bad one to end on.
I mean, that is true. Champions, I'm just assuming if they had played every single one of their games, things could have been very different for them. Would have been very, very different. We could have seen them into the top at 9, maybe even top 8, because 34 points is no joke within the 4 matches that they have played. It's a really decent jump that they have done. But Wine Donkeys with 26 for the DRX, 25 for the Nomshing's Red Force, and 24 you can see from the rest of the matches as well. But Alpha 7 takes the dub for this match, and now we're down to the very last one. That is Irengel, the match number 15. And with that match, we will have the conclusion of who is going to stay into the final chance and who will be moving into the grand finals. But ladies and gentlemen, one little announcement for you guys for tomorrow's matches, regarding tomorrow's matches, and that is that they will start 2-3 hours after, later than the ones that started today, meaning 5 p.m. GMT +7.
Yeah, there we go. Right. So if whatever time you joined us today, add a little bit more to that, and then you'll know when we come back tomorrow to come back for 5 p.m. In GMT +7. But of course, on that one, if I can stop freezing my face like that, we are going to be heading into a quick break. So be sure to stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the final match right here in the playoffs. Don't go anywhere.